इंटरेस्टिंग सेशन रिपोर्ट चाहिए, आपकी स्क्रीन पे विनर ऑफ द मैच के आगे एक नंबर लिखा है, व्हाट्सएप नंबर है 9955992931। आप इस नंबर पे जाके मैसेज कर सकते हैं और सेशन रिपोर्ट पा सकते हैं। कल से जो आईपीएल शुरू हो रही है उनकी भी सटीक सेशन रिपोर्ट आपको दी जाएगी और लाइव कवरेज आपको दिखाई जाएगी। तो उसके लिए आपको इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना होगा। तो प्लीज़ मैं सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए और वीडियो को लाइक कर दीजिए।
Crawley next year. Certainly hope that's the case for his sake. I imagine he will be away. I imagine Sam Billings will be away for periods of time as well. Hopefully that's the case with Joe Denley.
Which will mean Daniel Bell-Drummond sticking the armband on once again as the Kent captain. Done a fine job this year when he's been in charge. He's on strike now, facing Matt Quinn, and he's pulling away. There is a man out there on the mid-wicket boundary. He's timed it nicely, but he's only actually going to get one for it. Timed it too well because it raced out to the fielder there. So just a one, quietish start. That's no problem at this stage. 7 without loss after 2 overs.
Yeah, we're talking about that game from 2 days ago. Middlesex ended up making 184, and they were 7 for 1 off 3. So there's no panic from a Kent perspective. Yes, it's great to get off to a flyer in the power play, but all these guys can find the fence and they can hit big. So if you have a watchful start, you can catch it up. There's no panic these days when you have quiet overs.
Sam Cook lasted just the 1 ball when he had a blade in his hand. He arrived from the Les Ames stand. He faced 1 ball. He turned. He was on his way back to the Les Ames stand, but he'll be hoping to have something to say with the ball in his hand. Here he is to bowl his first over at the Nackington Road end, bowling to Bell-Drummond, who doesn't time that. Picks out mid-on, but does manage to get through for a run. It's 8 without loss. Pretty decent Barnet there, Sam Cook. Pretty decent.
Long-haired hairdos, aren't there, on the circuit these days?
Here is Sam Cook into Crawley, who just opens the face, runs down to third man. The Colin Cowdrey stand in the shade now.
A cat and mouse start, isn't it? Interesting that Kent haven't gone all guns blazing. I think that's credit to the Essex bowlers who've mixed the pace up, hit the pitch, but also Kent don't want to lose early wickets.
Sam Cook's into Daniel Bell-Drummond, who again is picking out mid-on, comes through for a quick single. The throw comes in, nearly takes Sam Cook's head off. He didn't look too pleased with that. Talked about his lovely Barnet, that might have been all that was left. Anyway, the run is completed, it's 10 without loss. So it is a sedate, it's a quiet start. As you quite rightly say, Middlesex started slower than this on Wednesday. Joe Cracknell got going, didn't he? Cook's into Crawley, who's playing straight and is playing for 4. Been seeing plenty of that from Zach Crawley this summer. There's another one for collection. Straight 4, 14 without loss.
मैं अपने सभी भाइयों का अपने चैनल पर स्वागत करना चाहूँगा और सभी अपने व्यूअर से रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा कि प्लीज़ इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिएगा, वीडियो को लाइक कर दीजिएगा और जिन भाइयों को बिल्कुल सटीक सेशन रिपोर्ट चाहिए वो आपके स्क्रीन पे दिए गए व्हाट्सएप नंबर पर मैसेज कर सकते हैं। नंबर है 9955992931। आपके लिए मैं फिर से नंबर को रिपीट करूँगा 9955992931। कल से जो आईपीएल के मैचेज जो शुरू हो रहे हैं और जैकपॉट मैचेस की सभी की सेशन रिपोर्ट्स आपको इस नंबर पर मिलेगी। नंबर है 9955992931 और मैं सभी व्यूअर से रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा कि प्लीज़ इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए, वीडियो को लाइक कर दीजिए। थैंक यू।
Always changing its mind.
Yes, I've known a few wasps in my time. Not all of them with wings on. As Sam Cook is in to Crawley, who will pick up a quick single this time. Just drops it into the offside. So that completes the 3rd over. 8 runs from it, so with the boundary, it's a good one for the Spitfires. It's 15 without loss, 153 more runs required from here.
Okay, and we got the answer to Tav's teaser then. We said in '95 we won the AXA League, the Sunday League, and a lot of stuff got thrown over the balcony. Lots of Aravinda de Silva kit, and people, as we've already heard here from Dave Booker, who said he got Martin McCaig's shirt, but in one shirt, a pink and white check shirt, there was £250 in the pocket. That shirt, of course, yes, it belonged to Matthew Fleming. So well done, all of those who got it right. The only man that could afford it would have had that amount of cash on him, the multi-billionaire Matt Fleming, says Bagsy. I think multi-billionaire might be pushing it, but yeah, it was indeed Matt Fleming. So well done those who got that right. There's absolutely no prize for winning Tav's teaser, but well done to those who got it.
Well, I wouldn't mind being a pound behind him as Jack Plom starts setting you over, and he's dismissed Crawley. Middle stump. Crawley looking to play away to the leg side. And I'm afraid his stumps have been disturbed and Crawley's on his way. So we enjoyed that lovely straight 4 from him in the previous over. 9 to his name, he's gone. First Spitfires wicket down, 15 on the board.
Yeah, well bowled, Jack Plom. It's a big scalp, about as big as they come here. I'm just going to look and see if that ball nipped back. I think in truth it was just top of the off stump and Crawley was aiming across the line. So frustrating from a Kent perspective because he's in wonderful touch. England's tool number 3 have got a lot of batting, but you can't help but think that's a big blow to the Spitfires. Slow start, you can deal with that so long as you're not losing wickets. But England's double centurion from the Aegeus Bowl and 100 just a few days back has gone for 9.
Joe Denley striding out to the middle. A rare sight in recent times of Joe Denley in a Spitfire shirt in the Vitality Blast, a punch of gloves with Daniel Bell Drummond. And he'll sort his guard out with umpire Nigel Long. And he'll be facing up to Jack Plom. Hard to top this, 0.1 overs, 1 for 0. Can I have a rest please, Skip?
Yeah, my first look at Plom. Just get his numbers up. I don't think Kent will know much about him either. It's often a worry.
Well, Zach Crawley will know a bit. He's in there to bowl to Denley, who's sort of hanging a bat out there. And it just dribbles through to Michael Pepper, who's got the gloves on for the Essex Eagles this afternoon.
It's just his 4th game. He's played the last 3 for Essex in this competition, so we said, didn't we, that he's won 2 of those, because they've won the last 2. 2 for 18 against Hampshire.
Hair flowing and bouncing behind him as he bowls to Joe Denley. He's got that one just ever so slightly wrong. That's all you need when you're leg side. So that'll be a wide. 16 for 1.
Just looking at his top flight appearances before the start of this 2020 campaign, he hadn't played since the 6th of August 2019, so actually a year between matches, which is the kind of way of things in the modern world.
हेलो गाइस, आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं इतना प्यार देने के लिए। आप सभी दर्शकों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आशा करता हूं आपने वीडियो को लाइक कर दिया होगा, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब जरूर कर दिया होगा। जल्दी मैं सभी व्यूअर्स से रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं, जिन्होंने वीडियो को लाइक नहीं किया जल्दी से वीडियो को लाइक कर लीजिए, चैनल को जल्दी सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है मेरे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। आशा करता हूं आपने वीडियो को लाइक और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके लाइव चैट में अपना नाम जरूर लिख दिया होगा। जल्दी सभी व्यूअर्स से रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं, जिन्होंने वीडियो को लाइक नहीं किया जल्दी वीडियो को लाइक करके चैनल को सब्सक्राइब जरूर कर दीजिए।
I'll give you the Joe Denley cover drive when he absolutely nails it and holds the pose. It's a thing of beauty. Well, I thought we were going to get one then, but he just waits for this. Just dabs it down to third man off the back foot for a couple. Some players just look elegant, don't they? There's that thinking, isn't there, in cricket, that left-handers, for some reason, always have a certain, I think because we always reminded of David Gower, but they have this certain elegance about them. But for the right-handers, there aren't too many who look better than Joe Denley at the crease when he's in form. From a Spitfire's point of view, I hope that's the case today. Here's Plom, stuff on his toes, Denley. Won't get a single here. So he picks out Aaron Nijjar, who's inside the circle at mid-wicket.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the left-handed, I think David Gower did probably style all of that. So elegant. Not a lot of foot movement, but beautiful timer of a cricket ball. But these days we've had Alistair Cook and Rory Burns, who perhaps not as easy on the eye aesthetically.
Jack Plum's into Denley. He's absolutely belted that. The bowler's got a hand on it. Are we going to see another person wringing the wrist here? No, he looks all right, Jack Plum. Cool, he got hold of that, Denley. Good bit of fielding. Stops a certain boundary, 23 for 1.
Yeah, just as he was coming down the wicket there, remember what happened to Luke Fletcher at Edgbaston when it was Tom Hain that got him. Hit him straight on the bonce, didn't it? Went 30 yards up in the air, and Fletcher, that was the end of his season. They were very worried about him for a while. Big fast bowler, pleased to see he was all okay. He's got a book out actually at the moment, I think, Luke Fletcher. But, yeah, that could have been nasty, but you do wonder the way the 2020 game is going when batsmen advance and bowlers in their follow-through, and they're closing the distance on each other. It's only probably 14, 15 yards, and they can strike that ball very hard.
Denley's taken on the pad by Sam Cook, who's starting a new over at the Nackington Road end. Half-hearted appeal, always going down the leg side, that one. I tell you what, umpiring is becoming a more dangerous game as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Bruce Oxenford's got the right idea. He's got the ox blocker, that big shield. Looks like a gladiator standing behind the stumps, ready to block anything coming his way. You'd be mighty annoyed as a batsman if you nailed one back and the ox just blocked it. Stayed 4. It cost you a place in the quarter-final.
40 love. Joe Denley is pulling round the corner towards us, and he's pulling for 4.